Friends, just now I made two videos, one in Telugu and another one in English. That is about mentality of Indians. This video about poverty in USA. One of the subscribers requested to make a video. So, like I said, each video has an intent or intent and content. So I cannot satisfy everyone with every video, and intent is different, right? Thank you. I will start making a video. It is now 2 a.m. on 23rd May. It's now 23rd 2:14 a.m. I just now made two videos. Someone requested me, sir, please don't say sir, but someone requested me, Kumar, why don't you make videos on poverty in USA? I've seen couple of videos. So many people are homeless in US. Brother, there are 60,000 or maybe second largest homeless country is India in Mumbai, and the first is California. Probably maybe New York also. So it is very easy for anyone to write a comment. Just because you have a Gmail ID, you can leave a comment, right? So because he requested, then I take up this subject, and I'm also interested, and the intent and content is what every video has. Yesterday I spoke to one subscriber in Texas. Then last 4 years he has been watching, and he requested me not to speak bad words in my videos. So I promised, saying that yes, I will follow your advice. So I will try not to make or use any bad words. And because so many people are there, neighbors, so I always speak little low, and daytime I cannot make videos. My kids don't allow, and each video cost time. It doesn't fetch any money. It costs life, and sometimes it go controversial when I use the word Indian and Indian replacing Americans. On top of it, you are reading the hatred, filthy comments, right? On Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, emails, SMS, whatever. Sometimes subjects like this will take the YouTuber to a depression, I can say. I thought of when I did research, and when I recollect some of the incidents, how Americans displaced or homeless and jobless, that one. And in the past history, that wherever I worked, those stations I recollected, and I saw a couple of videos. Then I wrote a points. So let me read a few points. Poorest states: North Carolina and Georgia, Arkansas, South Carolina, Kentucky, and West Virginia, Louisiana, Alabama, and New Mexico, and Mississippi. These are the order I read, top 10 to 1. Very poorest. Each state on average $46,000. They earn both together, couple I'm saying. So 19% average. What is there in some states? 22 is there, and 75% of the people live paycheck to paycheck. And then West Virginia death rate is very high. Average national average is $56,000, and 1 out of 5 homeless. 25% is the poverty rate. And when it comes to reasons why we will say poor education and poverty, high school dropouts, and these are the things. Lot of points I noted while doing this research. I felt like probably this is my last video when I explaining or doing this much research. So I wrote some points. Subscribers requested a video on poverty in USA. Over 40 million people in USA live below poverty line. The research I did from internet is showing 40 million, but when I went to Facebook, when I see my comments or posts, it shows 60 million Americans or 60 million people are in poverty, under poverty or homeless, whatever you call. That is after I interact with displaced Americans, study a lot of information. I don't have any studio like India television, right? To show all the graphics and all, but I'm simply reading it. So twice as many 55ers, mostly they live in moving vehicles, cars. Yes, if you remember Maryland, I lived in a car because 7 layers and they are not paid. And when I say Kumar is stupid, Kumar work under 7 layers is what somebody write, but they have to blame the layers, right? So that's where people failed in life. They point out the other man in person. So SUV under the trees. There are many documentaries on this, but KE had to make one. Kumar Exclusive talked to several displaced Americans over the past. Many told main reasons are outsourcing. Let us see why the reasons why they go out. One is outsourcing. And then outsourcing companies push them to streets under the buses overnight. Like I gave an example, one person is working in North Carolina. It's a small village, Clayton. So she has 2 daughters, college going. She's 55 years old. So I don't know what happens now. So one financial company from India came and took her job. So immediately they have house, mortgage, vehicles. They lose average. It costs $2,000 for one person to live in America. Average, that is whether you work or not. All those costs, if you take. So if you lose job, then gone. So cost of living is high across the USA except in small villages or towns. So still it cost average to just like now I said, like medical insurance, auto insurance, mortgage, rental insurance, etc. Example or stories Kumar met in the small villages or suburbs of Rochester, New York. New York means Indians thinking that New York City only. These I wrote points, I'm reading it. New York is a combination of more than 1,000 islands, popularly known as 5 islands. Kumar refers to the upstate of New York. Yeah, one senior person working as a car driver in a rental car station in Rochester, New York. He has explained how the Kodak went down. Yeah, one of the reasons is companies or clients could not meet the pace of the society or the technology. The need absorbs or doesn't absorb, then it is obsolete, right? They will be ruled out of the market. That is Kodak went down and people lost jobs. So at that time I thought of record that video, I missed it. So one is the evolution of new technology unable to bear the competition changes, swallows the industries that are digest the new changes or emerging technologies. Same times companies wants profits rather than love for the country or country people. That greediness force them to do anything to get them more profits. If this is I wrote, I typed it, all my experiences I gathered. If any readers from India reading it may mistake easily that Kumar is a communist or anti-India, etc. Already Robert Nelson, somebody keep writing against outsourcing, etc. One must understand that just because to save 2 cents or $1, if you outsource from work in India to Bangladesh or Philippines, who work lesser than to Indians in India, tomorrow 1.5 billion population will sit on the streets. That is not the business model for any country. This is what I would like to communicate. And over 40 millions people in US homeless is what I saw research, whatever I did. California, Washington DC, Virginia, rent is delayed for 5 days. Eviction notice will be served. Police comes with gun. So one of the major reasons, like for example, you are living in a mortgage own house. Whoever feel, some ladies Indians also wrote filthy comments to me. There is nothing called settle. If you lose your job because of COVID-19 or recession or apartment, if you don't pay rent, like I showed you in Edison, New Jersey, and Forts, New Jersey, I kept a video. Project ended abruptly and then went to apartment management. They will throw your stuff by 5th of every month. You don't pay rent, then you will sit under the trees, right? If it is cold, dead. That's how people become homeless. This is primary reason. Secondary is why they go lose jobs means Indians outsourcing. Indians also losing jobs to Indians. For example, H4EADs replace H1Bs, OPT CPTs replace H1Bs. H1Bs is expensive, right? So minimum pay is prevailing wage. That's why they hire LTEAD, H4EAD, GCEAD. So no prevailing wages, no minimum wages. So they will work for $5 to $10. And then the next is they move at the expense of the tenant. Yeah. So suppose you are living in a apartment, you have a lot of stuff. So you lost your job. Then at your expenses, all your stuff will be towed out or moved out, whatever. So you got to do what you need to do when you become homeless, right? Then car, you may live in car or car mortgage, insurance or whatever. So 10 evictions takes place every day in Richmond. And then some people, they live in budget hotels almost for 2 years, which cost them $1,300. Then past evictions still hold them. Like suppose I'm living in a motel room, I could not save anything because I have to pay where I evicted, right? So that rent. Then the public database and some they change their names and the $300 due, and then still much risky. I mean, whatever, some points I wrote it down almost 2 weeks ago. Now I forgot the flow, whatever I noted the points while reading. Whether you break ankle, hospitalized, gone case. Yeah. So once homeless, any dental or medical, then gone case. Some non-profitable volunteer organizations, Americans especially, doing the medical service to them, but first come first basis. Morning 6 a.m. they have to stand in a stadium, and then they will serve. And then some non-profitable organizations giving them small houses, but they live on the footpaths, right, on the pathways. But neighbors living there, they complain, they don't want. And if the police come, the people who are doing this non-profitable service also may need to escape. Yeah, another reason is mines are closed. Then a lot of Americans are almost like dead. Some commit suicide, some fall into drugs, sex rackets, and whatever. Single mother, 3 children is very painful, and single father, diverse father, and then they live on food stamps. American medical insurance is worst because some depends on the employers, and Indian employers, right? Many, I mean, not all, but only majority. And 6 months only unemployment fund they get it. So after that, gone. If it is H1B, rent on credits, almost like they live on credit. Some green card holders are curious to know how H1Bs live on credit. F1s I have seen that 25 members live in one room. Like Mexicans come from illegally from Mexico, right? to save their rent. Like the one Telugu girl plays a video, 25 members living in one apartment, and apartment management come for inspection, and without water she came out and sitting outside apartment, and then that video went viral, and many Indians scolded her saying that whatever. So that's one, and dollar 500 for five people were living in one location, and previous credits, and whenever they want to buy something, they look at credit cards. And Trump, especially President Trump, is doing good for Americans. Indians also getting benefited by Republicans and President Trump, but Indians hate President Trump and Indians vote for Democrats. I don't know, but though they get green card during Republican times. What President Trump is doing is to construct the house. It costs a lot of money, so he waive off several things that actually ease them, right? Whoever wants to construct houses and give it to them at subsidized rate or free. Health is a disaster. So 28 million Americans without medical insurance are living. There is no insurance, you can't meet a doctor. Hospitals load you upfront. Most expensive medical and unaffordable. Even when I keep doing research, I stop breathing at a time because I felt like I'm falling in poverty or depression, or it's very difficult to come out once you fall into depression, right? So dental is awful expensive, and first come first serve, like I said, right? Some people do social service, but I have seen Indian cash groups do all that is bogus. Modern day America, that is teeth. It's like one woman died because of the teeth pain. So from then somebody has started this dental one, and then some are happy because they're doing the service, right? So I don't see Indian doctors doing anything except building temples. Indian doctors, I don't come across any Indian doctors. So they have a bed bugs problem. All those. So in Los Angeles, bed bugs, right? In Los Angeles, someone helping to put the wooden houses, and neighbors complain to police. Texas, DC, California, and then Goodwill, and I forgot that name. Goodwill, second-hand stores, clothes, and other stuff they buy, and some churches are helping them. They simulate and train the kids to experience that. And I went to church to do volunteer service, even in Michigan. So I felt so bad or sad. So many people are there without any basic food. So that much of food they church gathered and then put it in the boxes and served to them in the cold we carried from the trucks. So eat on their own without any money, cannot beg at restaurants. So churches train or experiment with the children to, or whoever come forward to understand the plight of the homeless. So some got fainted, and then cities, Philadelphia, low wages, high cost of living. Yeah, another thing. See, that's why whenever I get jobs, I always refuse California. California in person, I went in 2010. I think it cost me $2,000 to go there, come there, and attend the interview from New York to California, California to New York. So even if I get a job, it's unfortunate I didn't get selected. If I get selected, it is very expensive. California, it's like Mumbai, right? Can you live with $50 in Mumbai? So, and Las Vegas, 6,200 people homeless. These are all 2019 figures. Boston, 6,300 people. Half of the family are homeless for past 9 years in Boston. Legal right to shelter is there in Boston, that particular state, and New York and DC also. And one ex-colleague told me, American, So in New York City, they take all homeless and drop them in buses to California. They move the problem from one state to another, but not resolved, right? San Jose, California, 6,500 homeless people. Wealthy Silicon Valley cannot afford to rent a place. That's why people live in streets and cars. And then first homeless tiny places started in California, and 3D printer homes. That's what some people are making. Regulations for housing is killing. President Trump is eliminating the so many regulations. That's why whoever homeless, they are loving President Trump. And illegal drugs, narcotics is another big problem for the homeless. And DC 8,300 people, 30% compared to last year. Have two more pages to read. So lots of low wages workers, single moms, and low income groups and high income groups. Baltimore, San Diego, 87,000 people are there. High rents, single room occupancy, second largest place in the country. New Mexico, $6,400 per unit. Yeah, 500,000 homeless and 25 billion, 5 million per state. Okay. Yeah, somewhere I read that New Mexico, they plan like that. Like for example, 500,000 homeless are there in America. 25 billion. If you spend 5 million per state, so you can build houses, because New Mexico, a lot of space is there. And Seattle, Aka, Freatle. Okay, Seattle is called Freatle. Everything is free for homeless. Some call it free everything. Raising rents, and 9,000 homeless people are there living on streets, tiny houses, property taxes. Another biggest Facebook page, Seattle looks like shit. The Facebook page is Seattle looks like shit is the Facebook page somebody created. Seattle dying, some calling. And San Francisco is number 3. Homeless sleep on streets, and then property crimes. Los Angeles, second and fourth in the world, like Mumbai in India, 36,000 homeless, which is almost like Idaho state population. 60,000 people homeless in Mumbai, India. So whoever subscriber asked me to make this video, they should know the poverty in India, homeless in India. India poverty more than 50%. Now you are seeing the migrant labor walking, right? So, and then 75% homeless living on street in Idaho state. Again, circuit house, they put it for homeless, running out of money, and they cannot run, right? Even non-profitable organizations also need money. New York City number 1 when it comes to homeless. 13% of all homeless living in New York City. 4% on street. Millions of dollars. Skid Row, city limits. So these are the points I have noted up to this. Whatever I did internet research. So I explained 2010 one woman displaced from the finance and account section, and later Webster, and then Pennsylvania, all the top 10 outsourcing companies. My Indian brothers and sisters, I love India and I love human beings, I love the world map is there. So all the displaced, all the outsourcing companies, they come outrightly and replace Americans. Americans draw 250k. So that 250k, 50k is paid to that H1B, under 200k shared by the company. If it is Indian inks, Aka, body shops, so the middle layers will share that 200k. So why Kumar is famous or Kumar is controversial? Because until Kumar expose Indian inks, Aka, body shops, Americans may not know what is a body shop. Though they give permissions for ink, they don't know what's going on in the guest house, right? Drugs, prostitution, everything. And they all these Indians formed as layers and they eat money. And my Ravi friend always uh, confronting that criticize. You always talk about layers. I don't know whether he has a layer company or not, but that's how Indians also falling into poverty, homeless is what one. I don't say Mexico. Some other TV channel has discussed that. And Indians, one side, doctors becoming super rich here, and then engineers and Indians fake resumes. $100,000 one person earns in Edison, New Jersey. Couple 200K. Some people are doing 3 jobs, 4 jobs, whereas other and Americans lost their jobs. And jobless and homeless. Every Indian in America has a home in India. Parents' home, sister, siblings' home, whatever. So if America kick out Indians by ship, all Indians, but still they have house there. But whereas in America, Americans lose, then they become homeless, jobless, and homeless, then suicide, die, death, drugs. Oh my God, when I read this topic, when I was reading and recollecting the experiences that Americans displaced, how they were crying on the last day of leaving the work, at a point of time, I felt like I'm also homeless and I might be leaving US and because it's a shaky world and land of depression, land of poverty. People say dream that's all fake. You see that our universities, right, all are fake and then majority are fake and then students money they need and students suffering. So pathetic conditions. Thank you for watching. If I keep telling more and more, it become controversial and it will be very sad if I tell, because the Americans I met, they were one African American in North Carolina was crying. He was a basketball player. He lost his job to Indian outsourcing company, and another white American lost jobs. It is easy to fire Americans. That's why outsourcing company employees H1B L1 B1 still working in spite of COVID-19 fire 67 million Americans. No American can survive more than 3 weeks because most of them live paycheck to paycheck. Whereas Indians fake resumes, right? Couples working, so at least one husband lost a job, wife is working, wife lost a job, husband working, trying 100K, 150K, 250K, 200K. So becoming super rich Indians on one hand, on the other hand, Americans are losing the jobs, lives, livelihood. I would say Americans are colonized in America. Another topic is doctors committing suicide. American doctors, those who, excuse me, those who study medicine, it takes them to repay huge debt. Whereas doctors come from other countries and India, they do, and then they occupy their jobs on H1B, and then by the time they complete 10 years or 20 years of study, their jobs are vanished. That's how they become homeless. That is, so when I started 214, now it is 244. Thank you. Make America great again, and God save and God bless all those best, all those souls out there, and then give them good health and homes. Thank you. Well, with the peanuts, and you cannot go back with the little savings. less than the rental. Okay. It means, for example, $1,500.
If every $100,000 you have to pay $460. So say if you buy a condominium for 150K, then you'll be paying only $750 only a month.
So buying a house is cheaper than paying the rent.
Because risk is there, maintenance is there.
Okay.
No payment is there. Risk is there. Commitment 30 years. Commitment 30 years you have to be alive.
Okay. Yeah.
You have to work till 30 years.
30 years. Yes. Got it. So how much is in India?
From 9 point. Okay. From
That's what some guys will commute into countries. With the family in India, save a lot of money, stay with 15 members, 25 members in one room. You save a lot of money, right? 15 members stay in one room. And yeah, that's how they build houses there. Life is strategic. That much I can say. You don't know whether it is bliss or sin to come to America, but we started all looting business here. Thanks for listening. Hey, this is what I'm explaining. I came to Lee's office and I just informed them my last job. I didn't cancel the lease. It is extended for one more month. If I cancel the lease, I would pay $600 the lease break fees on time, and I didn't cancel it, so I'm still on one more month extension, and then probably I may get that is still July 31st. I can stay another 2 more months to pay rent and as well as live legally in this country. To be honest. So technically I can stay in this apartment without any lease liabilities till July 31st and as well as the country. I mean, I should exit this apartment by July 31st and the nation in case if I don't get the project. And the rest is individual risk. I mean, paying taxes to US government, though there is no income, that's H1B status to maintain. Yeah, only. What do you need pens for? Need a bad red copy? I can use this paper? Yeah. Yeah. The project is ending today. Hi everyone. After a long time, I thought of record this. I'm smiling because I will tell you the message. April 27th, Friday, 12 p.m. lunchtime. I'm 10 miles away from the DC, Maryland. It's Upper Marlboro, Maryland, 2018. One of my American colleagues, unfortunately fired by Prime Minister, Indian Prime Minister. I asked him because I called him just now. He lost the contact couple of days. I just asked him, why are you not coming to work? That's what my question is. Why are you not coming to work? He said, I will repeat, he said, I am not H1B. He said, I am not H1B to come to work if not paid salaries. That is the answer. He slapped me here with that answer. I will tell you my story. I have completed 289 hours. That is 300 hours approved by the client. I was not paid for 2 months. I was not paid for 2 months. Maybe last Friday they paid very little of these 289 hours. That is the fate of H1Bs in America. This is what nobody is speaking out. That's the reason I never recommend during my course of life stop H1B. But I would say stop H1B. Report all Indians out. It doesn't matter whether they hold green card, stupid green card, or whatever. You have to stop H1B because they made this as a pimping business or a prostitution. If you sleep with Indian employers, they file H1B free. That is the condition today in America. Thank you. Friends, everyone, probably this is my last but one video from US. Lot of stuff to record on R visa and 24/7 proxy information. International student has showed, and I vacated Maryland. Today is Saturday. What is the date? I don't remember. I quit project 1 week ahead because those stupid guys are not paying salary, so I quit. Yeah. Stopped at Pennsylvania area, driving from Maryland to Michigan. I will dispose the van there and most of the stuff. Thank you guys. Love you all. Yeah, I fully loaded the SUV. I'm driving from Maryland to Ohio, 540 miles. So I stopped at Ohio rest area. Yeah, and again I will throw most of it and carry only certificate bag and other stuff to India. Thank you everyone. Love you all. Friends, I'm at Michigan State, driving from Maryland. Saturday. Yeah, I quit project. You know, right? So fucking asshole guys. They don't pay salary. Sorry, I'm using bad words, but what can I do?